Boys, how you
Edie.
doing?
Lovely.
Gentlemen, good to see you guys.
Yeah.
Hey, good to see you guys too. This is Sports Brunch, but guess what? This question right here, not Sports Brunch at all.
Okay.
It's very near and dear to my heart. Here it is.
All right.
I saw this meme on Facebook, and it said, "What is your Hallmark movie title based off your month of birth and the last text message you sent?" Since I know your birthdays, this is easy.
Oh, boy.
March, Christopher, have the last text that you sent up ready. March is a merry mix-up. Then, give me your last text message that you sent.
To anybody or to you guys?
To anyone. Your last one you sent out. Go for it.
Wait, what was the first thing you said for March?
A merry mix-up.
A merry mix-up. Alrighty, good deal. Good luck.
Love it. Love it.
And I'm picturing in a Hallmark movie like it actually not working out at the end. They're just like, alrighty, good deal. Good luck. See ya. Never again.
I love it. Dan, May, Christmas fever, and the last text you sent.
Christmas fever. Oh, man, this is even better. Christmas fever. Almost always, I guess. LOL. But yes. Oh, can't wait to tune in for that one.
All right. And mine is kind of weird, but icy sculptures. Whoa. You're going?
Oh man.
And all of
That's
those are
incredible.
realistic Hallmark movie titles. They just are.
Why not? Put
Oh,
them in
yeah.
production.
Yeah.
Somehow they pump out like 10 new holiday movies every season. So you run out of original titles pretty easily. So
Dude,
there you go. There's three
impressive.
for next season.
there you go. Chris is like very morbid. Chris is like a dark
Yeah.
holiday.
Alrighty. Good luck. Merry Christmas, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, all right. Let's get into it. It is the Brunch Breakdown. It's Didi out here in Los Angeles. Chris and Dan are in Pittsburgh. And today we are firing off so many sports topics. It's insane. It is Sports Brunch. And you know what? I'm just not even going to tell you the things we're going to be talking about. We're just throwing them all out there to you. Dan, let everybody know what's, where they can find the Brunch Breakdown.
Yeah, of course. Typically we just say you can find the Brunch Breakdown anywhere you listen to podcasts. I was recently told we have some new listeners to the program. So in case you're unfamiliar where everywhere is, it's quite literally everywhere, people. Whether it's Apple, Spotify, Google, SoundCloud, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Amazon, Audible, you can find this podcast anywhere. Just search Brunch Breakdown. Make sure you're hitting follow, hit subscribe. Let those episodes come to you straight to your device, wherever you have them, ready to go every Wednesday. New episodes just about every Wednesday. We also have full video episodes. A lot of you follow along with our clips. We've got the full episode in that same medium. The full video episodes available on YouTube and Facebook. They premiere at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. And of course, they're on demand anytime you want to watch after that. We're everywhere on social media. Give us a follow at Brunch Breakdown, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Trailer, TikTok, and everywhere else that is on planet Earth that is a social media. And of course, the Sounds of Brunch playlist exclusively on Spotify. Simply search Sounds of Brunch. We give you what we're listening to. We'll give you last week. We'll give you this week. We put it into a playlist. We update it every Friday for your listening pleasure. Hit follow, hit subscribe to that too, and you'll have it whenever you want to listen. Check it out.
Nice. I just want to warn you guys and anyone watching on YouTube that if you see like a naked kid walk past this window, this door, just act like you didn't see it. Listen, bath time. It gets crazy.
NC-17 brunch.
just letting you know, things, it might happen. I have no idea what's going on out there. All right. Well, let's get random topics off our chest. It is get it off your chest. And Chris, get us started, man.
Cool. Thank you for the opportunity. Given that this is sports brunch, I just want to talk about this weird phenomenon that I've witnessed really very much recently. And it is people that are, again, this is like an American perspective, which I mean, probably applies to every single person that listens to this podcast. But I think it's interesting to me, people that decide to become fans of non-traditional sports and then expect me to just play along with them talking like people from like other countries. When I was a kid, we had a neighbor up the street spend like a summer abroad in London, and she came back with an English accent, and it was the stupidest shit I've ever experienced in my entire life. And like, I don't know, the World Cup's going on right now, and all of a sudden I'm supposed to just accept that you're calling athletes lads now? Like, really? Like we're gonna just skim past that, like you didn't just say that for the first time ever and I'm supposed to accept it? I don't know. I think it's weird. And that's what I wanted to get off my chest this week. The World Cup has brought a lot of that into my world lately. And I've also been noticing, like, as a Pitt fan, the teams that are best for Pitt are the non-traditional sports. So like volleyball and soccer and stuff like that. And like, I don't know, like I'm a big fan of Pitt when they do things, but we need to like level set here and just, you can't, I don't know. I'm not a fan. I'm just not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of it. And it bothers me. It shouldn't bother me. Everybody else should be allowed to do whatever they want, talk however you want. But I don't like it. And that's what I wanted to get off my chest. Lads, what do you lads think?
The only exception to that rule is once a month, every 2 years during the Olympics, when everybody is a genius and has been studying each Olympic sport for years leading up to that point and knows everything about every athlete there. That is the only time where I'm okay with it. And it's like, oh, you've been following this all along. No, I just watch a lot of TV right now this week.
Yeah, you know what, Dan, that's a good point. I'll accept you using the word brilliant as an adjective if you're describing like the parallel bars or whatever, but like, stop it. Like, stop saying what a brilliant performance. You've never said that before. You've never said that before about a game until the World Cup started last week, and now everything's brilliant. Just stop it.
Listen, I am a handball expert every 4 years.
Yeah.
Every 4 years.
Yeah.
So just, yeah. So, and to me, that is acceptable. But yeah, dude, I'm so happy. I don't even know who's playing in the World Cup. I don't know what's happening over there. I don't know. I just know that I'm so sick of people telling me that I need to watch this, and stop telling me soccer's growing. Please, can we stop? Like, people have been saying that since I was playing soccer when I was in the 4th grade. Like, it's soccer, most growing sport. Oh man, 20 million people watch this. I'm like, what? Stop.
Dude, that's so funny you say that, because I actually have a client who is in the Middle East, and he actually went to a bunch of the World Cup games, and he was like, it's a shame the US got knocked out, but they have a young team. I really think, when the US hosts it in 4 years, they're going to be a lot more competitive. I'm like, man, I admittedly, I don't follow US soccer at all, but they've also been saying that since I was 4. So come on, what are we doing?
Yeah. Like, we can be okay with the women being as dominant as they are. Like, we don't have to win everything. Let the world have soccer. That's fine. We can let the world have men's soccer. That's totally fine with that. And the reason it's like, yeah, the most growing, it's the most growing sport. Like, ice hockey isn't growing in India as quick as like soccer is here. So it's just always going to be that way.
Yeah, the growing stuff just annoys the crap out of me. I'm just like, guys, stop. And also, the thing with soccer, it's like, it's literally like our 4th sport here. So when you are deciding what you're going to play as a kid, it's football, basketball, baseball, and then hockey and soccer get the rest of it. So it's like, why? How can we be the best in the world at our 5th sport? Like, I don't... Like, it would be wrong if we were the best at that. When it comes to the women's soccer, that's different because girls don't play football. So it's like, we're really good at basketball at international level, and we're really good at soccer at international level. But like, girls don't play, you know what I mean? And I know girls play hockey. I understand that. But it's just like, that's not one of the sports that you're like, hey, I'm signing up my daughter to play hockey. That's not something that happens unless you're in Canada. You're not here. So like, those are the two sports we dominate in those two sports. And there's a reason for that. So like, stop saying we're going to be great in the World Cup. No, we're going to hope to get into the knockout round and then get knocked out. That's what we do. Who cares? Stupid. Dan, get it off your chest.
Since I know we have a lot of topics today, I want to keep this sports themed, and I'm gonna try to keep it quick. Gentlemen, it's official. It's time to move on from Tom Brady on the field and off the field. I'm talking both. It is time to move on. Okay, this dude's already going to be on our TVs again for the next 2 decades, like he has been for like the last 2.5 on the field. Now he's going to be working for Fox, right? Is who his deal is like literally waiting for as soon as he retires for real next time. So like, let's move on now while we can. He's a shell of a player that he once was. He just got his ass beat by Brock Purdy, and it was absolutely embarrassing. Okay. He was revered last week for this comeback win in the last seconds of the game against Andy Dalton in the Saints at home. Like, are you kidding? Is this what it's come to? Just fade off, just go away. Like the GOAT, whatever you want to say, it's time to go, Tom. Grab your mic. Report came out today saying all options are on the table for Tom because he's a free agent this year. No, one option, the door. That's it. It's time to move on. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, it's done for Tom. I heard something this week about him signing with the Patriots and like doing the last round, just doing the last ride with the Patriots next year. That's what I heard, because their whole situation's like they don't have a quarterback up there. So yeah, I heard that this week, and why like the breadcrumbs are there, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. It's done.
That's like if LeBron went back to Cleveland 5 years from now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Would people there really be that excited about it?
It's like, go to Cleveland for what? To watch a game? Yeah, people will be really excited.
Yeah.
Like, God. Oh, guys, it's time for everyone to go. It's just time. Yep. God. All right. So I don't know if you guys watched the Jets-Bills game today.
A little bit.
Mike, did you hear about Mike White today?
He's an American football quarterback.
He is
aware.
Yes.
That's about all I know.
Took a couple of shots.
Yeah. Left the game in the second quarter after having a hit to the ribs. Comes back 2 plays later. Got hit in the ribs again. In the third quarter, left the game for the second time to get x-rays. No one thinks he's coming back because he shouldn't. Returns at the start of the fourth quarter and finished the game. Once the game ended, Mike White left in an ambulance, sent to the hospital for testing on potential internal injuries.
Oh my God.
Who? And I saw this in a post on ESPN saying, gotta respect Mike White. So then I Twitter searched this because, listen, Twitter's great for moments like this. And I was like, respect Mike White. All of these people, journalists and normies, all saying freaking Mike White, you gotta respect him. Dude loves the game. Oh my God. I'm like, this is the worst example of anything I've ever seen in my life. Like, kids growing up should not think that if they have to leave the game to get x-rays that they need to come back and finish the game. Because there's some stupid high school coach who's going to be telling their kid, who's going to be having this on their bulletin board at the start of next season, saying, Mike White, now that guy knows how to do it. So if you're bleeding, you feel like you're bleeding internally, you're spitting up blood, you finish the game. You're going to hear about this you're definitely going to hear about this the next 2 days, about how Mike White is so tough. And I'm like, everyone stop it. It's not, no. Like, I'm sure, I don't know how much money Mike White makes, but I'm sure he has a nice thing in the bank account, and it seems like he's going to be a backup quarterback forever or whatever. So he's going to make lots of money in his life. What is it? This is like a CFL story, or like this is an arena football story. Like, yeah, arena football league quarterback, and you're freaking selling cars on like the weekdays, and you go play football for fun. You go out there and do this dumb shit. But I just can't get over how poor of an example this is for athletes everywhere. That like all these people, prominent people, are like, oh, respect. He's bleeding internally, and he finished the game for the New York Jets, who aren't going to the Super Bowl.
I feel like this is only possible for an athlete who doesn't realize that he's only going to be a backup quarterback the rest of his life.
Dude.
Like maybe he thinks if I play with broken ribs, somebody will want me to be their starter, but he just doesn't realize that. Isn't that the only reason that he started is because the other kid for the Jets like said some stupid shit in a press conference, and now they're like benching him because he's like a dick or something.
Well, he was bad too.
Terrible.
But the word is that people don't like. But the word is that people don't, because it's Zach Wilson, right? Yeah, people don't like him. Like apparently, like the whole locker room just like does not like him at all, and they never have. And then he's just been bad. So then I was like, all right, get rid of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like how the Jets are getting away with that, by the way, that they took Zach Wilson, number 2 overall, and he's like the worst ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, who we shouldn't respect in this circumstance is the doctors that maybe thought this could have been a problem and should have taken his helmet away. Because what if he does have internal bleeding and that was going on for the entire fourth quarter?
Bro, and then just like pair it up with all the other stupid shit in the NFL that happens with quarterbacks, like Tua, how the hell did that,
Yeah.
And like we were talking before we hit record, Kenny Pickett today, like went out and back in, was concussed, and they put him back on the field. Like,
yeah. But by the way, the Jets still lost.
Yeah. Yep.
Just want to note that. Want to note that. But if Mike White can't go next week, the Jets starting quarterback will be Joe Flacco.
Let's go.
Not rooting against that.
Broadway Joe Flacco, the most famous
elite quarterback, Joe Flacco.
out of, and where did he start his college career, baby? Hail to Pitt. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Jesus. My God. All right. Well, let's Brews Day. Let's open up some drinks, boys. What you got, Chris? What you got?
I'll go quick. I am trying a lager I just gifted to my father for his birthday, and I'm going to try and pick some more up when I'm going to Wisconsin in 2 weeks. The native son is returning. So this is Guitar City Black Lager from Raised Grain. You know the brewery. Here we go, boys. It's black and gold. I thought like, hey, the Steelers will win and that'll work out well, but that didn't happen. So here we are.
No, it didn't. I don't even know who the quarterback was for the Ravens. I like turned on the game like in the second half and I was like, who's that guy? Like, I know the other guy, but he's not that guy. Who's this guy?
4 quarterbacks played in that game, and it was so bad to the point where they were talking about the emergency quarterbacks for both teams.
Yeah.
And it was just like, is Zach Gentry going to be finishing the game at quarterback?
That would have been incredible. Incredible.
Yeah. I was so confused because I saw because I turned on the game and like it had like the fantasy stats going on. So it was just like random stats and said Mitchell Trubisky, 216 yards at the time. And I was like, what? Why is he playing? And then I'm like, oh. And then I went on Twitter, saw how Kenny Pickett got knocked out of the game. I was like, all right, that's bad.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that was
weird.
That was an embarrassing NFL game for both teams.
Dude, just bad. All right. This is a beer I've had on here before because I've been doing some research over the last couple of weeks trying to figure out what my beer of the year is. Brunchies next week.
Ooh, yeah.
So Carl Strauss and Boochcraft, When Worlds Collide, Grapefruit and Hibiscus IPA. I hadn't had it in like a few months, and I was like, I need to freshen up, see if this is still great. And by the way, it is. I don't need to sip this to let you guys know. I'm going to pour this for effect.
No, but I don't think you had the can last time, or they've redesigned
Oh, I didn't have the can. Oh, yeah. Well, this can. They might have actually redesigned this, but yeah, this can.
Okay.
Pretty great. But yeah, it's a cool collaboration, and It's everything. It's hibiscus and grapefruit. Come on, like it's the Daniel collab with Daniel Dudley also.
Yeah,
everybody needs a little hibiscus now and then,
Dude, everyone needs hibiscus. My God. Pro tip:
Beautiful.
you ever see a margarita that has hibiscus in it, order it ASAP. Doesn't matter what you're thinking in your head. You'd be like, I'm gonna order a beer. No, you see on the menu hibiscus and a margarita, order it.
It's good advice. That's good advice. Gentlemen, I've got one of the greats from Platform Beer Company here. Part of their series. I think I had maybe the s'mores a few weeks back that I did, but this is the old classic, the Yammy. Still digging into some fall beers. Damn, is this one of my favorites? It's so good. If you like a good Yammy beer, it's not quite a pumpkin beer. It's sweet. It's got those spices, cloves, cinnamon, and it's warming. It's a fall beer. It's wonderful, and it's just like pumpkin season, good all year round. But the Yammy, the OG from Platform, can never go wrong. Happy to report cold beer back in the Knopf household. So
there we go.
Happy to be enjoying this.
New beer fridge?
Not yet. We're on a bit of a Band-Aid policy right now. But we're getting by. We're getting by. New fridge coming soon. Coming soon.
Okay.
All
right.
Yeah. Are you picking it out, or have you ordered it and it's coming?
Got kind of a fridge swap going on.
I was just about to say, Dan, I think the garage or the basement beer fridge has to be, you have to like inherit it from somebody. Like, I feel like you can't you can't have in your garage like a brand new fridge,
Absolutely.
It has to be a
100% agree with you. And the former beer fridge was exactly that, inherited.
See, that's good stuff.
When moving here, not my fridge. And so now I will do the same. Somebody I know is getting a new fridge. Their old fridge comes here.
Love it.
It's a beautiful thing.
Love it. People helping people.
This is a tangent that we shouldn't go on because we have a lot to get to. But I was just recently talking about to someone whose daughter's about to turn 16. And I was talking about how, like, no one's going to give their kid a hand-me-down car anymore. So we need to figure out other things that we can hand down, because the reason you're not going to give a kid a hand-me-down car anymore is because the technology in cars has changed too much. So it's like, if you have a kid who just got their license, you're like, I'm not gonna give you a car without a backup camera anymore. It's not happening. So it's like, you're probably getting your kid like a new or like, used car, but like not very old. You're not giving them a 1997 Honda Civic. Like, you know what I mean? You're not just doing that anymore.
I had a 97 Honda Civic.
I know.
Now I'm getting nostalgic. This is making me sad.
Yeah, like, you're just not going to give somebody just any car that you've had in your family forever. You're going to get them new things. So we need to find more hand-me-downs, and I think the fridge is a good one.
That is a good
hand-me-down fridge.
Put a pin in that topic. I need some time to think about that one.
Yeah.
I like
that's a nice start of 2023 topic right there.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah. But anyways, boys, cheers.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Sports brunch.
All right, here we go. The Heisman was given out last night. Caleb Williams, any thoughts, feelings, anything?
Who cares?
Right choice, but probably one of the more unexciting Heisman Trophy really build-ups in quite some time. But I guess it was the right choice.
I personally think for the Heisman to be interesting again, we need to go back and look at all the people that have voted for like the last 10 Heismans, and the amount of people who have clearly shown a trend of like, they just voted for the school that's most prominent. You can't vote anymore.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
If you voted for Alabama 7 or more times over the last 10 years, you can't vote. You don't have a vote anymore.
I love that.
The reason I started this out like this, asking you guys about this, because one, I didn't even know the Heisman was given out tonight, yesterday. Like, I had no idea. Like, I was just like, oh, that's happening. It used to be such a big deal, but like, I knew more about this Heisman winner because of living here, right? Like, USC, it's very present. Caleb Williams is on a bunch of TV commercials out here and all this other shit, right? But like, I just like, does anyone else know or care? Because he got hurt in the big game last week. So it was really anticlimactic because he was like running towards the Heisman. It was like, oh, it was going to be this big story. And it was like, yeah, they were going to be in the college football playoff. And then he got hurt in the first quarter of the game. And then they just got waxed by Utah.
Yeah.
So it's just weird. And I was just like, does anyone even care about the Heisman anymore? Because I swear, it just used to be such a big deal. And like you had to watch the ridiculously long program and all that stuff. And now it's like, I don't care.
I think people don't care. Well, I won't speak for everybody. Just in my own personal opinion, the fact that we have betting lines on the Heisman in July every year, and like then they update that every week, and who's in the top 5 Heisman list this week after like, well, we've played 3 games, okay, who's gonna the front runner for that? It's just like overkill when everybody knows at the end of the year it's going to be the 4 to 5 quarterbacks that play for the 4 to 5 best teams. Like, it was amazing that last year a defensive player was even invited, that kid from Michigan, the defensive lineman, because it's just all quarterbacks. I don't know. I don't find it interesting.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's just because we haven't had players that are so dominant as they once were, that it's almost parody in a sense, or there's just no like super standout. Like, you think of the guys that have won it the last couple of years, and then you look at that stage when they bring all those winners back up on stage. Now, it's not all of them; they don't all go on to have great long NFL careers or anything like that. But you're like, damn, there's some serious history up there, and I don't know if this kid's going to be remembered with the rest of them. And I don't know what it is. I really don't. You're right. It used to be a huge deal, but it's just not, and it is. It's the same. It's the same formula, and it's frankly kind of annoying.
I hear you. Boys, we're out of time on that topic. Let's get to one that we've been wanting to talk about for a couple months. Scottie Pippen.
Hello.
Scottie Pippen is offering $333,000 to spend the day with him. Go out to dinner with him, hang out, he'll autograph some stuff. $333,000 to hang out with Scottie Pippen in 2022. Please, boys. Would you spend $333,000 to hang out with Scottie Pippen?
I have to go first on this. Because we really need to like check in on Scottie to make sure. Like, what year does he think it is? It's not 1997.
In 1997. So let's like put inflation in this, right? So I guess we'll just we'll cut this thing in half. In 1997, would you have paid $150,000 to hang out with Scottie Pippen? He was the he was the 4th most interesting Bull if you count Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
That's the problem with Scottie. He doesn't seem interesting. What would you talk about all day? And what would he actually say? What would you talk about? He'd get these short answers. And you'd be like, listen, $333,000 is a lot. I need some more juice here. I know you just wrote your book, but
bro, that's what it would be. You'd be getting pissed off as the day went on, for sure. You'd be like, at some point, okay, Scottie, when am I getting my money out of that? When am I getting my money's worth here?
Like, what stories does Scottie Pippen have? Like, are we gonna I remember during The Last Dance, it was very interesting finding out about his background, like his family. I don't need to know more about how poor Scottie Pippen was, because we learned that in The Last Dance.
Right.
And like how he had the growth spurt. All that stuff was interesting, but I don't want to talk to him about that.
If I think about this on like a macro economical level, any business, you have a product, right? The higher you price it, the less people will be able to afford it. But if the price point gets high enough, you don't need a lot of people to afford it. So now I'm starting to think about, well, like, he just needs one wackadoodle to take him up on this. And he's got 350. How much is it? 330 something? 330.
300. Yeah, $333,000.
It only takes one person, man.
I bet you he had a meeting with his people, and they're like, Scottie, if we put a number on these things, how many are you willing to do? And he's probably like 3. And they're like, okay, here's the deal: $333,000, and you end up with $1 million at the end of the day. For 3 people.
You were probably 100% right.
Like,
that's probably it.
Right? 3 people, $333K, $1 million. Cool. Just like that.
And I apologize. I was mistaken. It is $333,333.33.
Okay, that's what it was then. Dan is.
That's exactly what it is then. That's exactly what it is.
Dan is
3 people.
100% right.
$1 million.
This is in the Neiman Marcus Christmas 2022 book, and the ultimate sports experience with legendary basketball player Scottie Pippen. And you have to hang out with Scottie Pippen's son.
You got to play 2-on-2 with them. They'll probably kick everyone's asses. They're not going to take it easy on you either.
You get a bourbon tasting with hold on.
Yeah.
You get a
His
bourbon tasting with Scottie Pippen's own whiskey.
Yeah.
What does Scottie Pippen know about whiskey?
Right. Yeah.
Man,
I want shares of the company. I don't want to sip it with them.
What is Scottie Pippen's whiskey called?
Digits.
Okay. Okay.
Sounds like a social media company.
Digits.
Man. Yeah, and you get a take-home gift, autographed copy of the book.
Oh, great.
Yeah, that really makes it over it makes you go, okay, I get it. 333,000. All right. Who'd I make it out to?
There's probably a few really rich people from Chicago that would do this.
Oof.
And he'll do it 3 times, and that's it.
Great.
Is there here's the question. Is there anyone on planet Earth, if you had the money, say you had the money, maybe not Jeff Bezos money, but like multi-millionaire, okay, you could spend this if you really wanted to. Is there anybody that you would say for one day, $333,000 to experience that with them?
I would take that money and like take you guys on a trip and have fun. That's what I would do.
Yeah. Man, if there's good God, that's a lot, man.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I don't know.
I
Right?
mean,
like maybe LeBron, just because of, I feel like with everything he's involved in, you'd have a pretty full day and you'd probably meet a couple of people that could change your life, maybe, or have a couple of conversations that you really take something away from. Like because you don't want to be like, speaking of somebody that could be like, oh, well, how about Jeff Bezos? You could be friends with millionaires, or Elon Musk. Like, no, those days would be terrible, right?
True.
There are some people that you wouldn't want to actually spend the entire day with, regardless of their status or worth or whatever.
Yeah. I think those super
somebody
intelligent people are actually like boring and their days aren't as exciting as you think.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly. Yeah. So it'd be somebody you have to enjoy the day with, but also you'd want to take something away from it aside from a bottle of bourbon and a book.
Like,
on that note, I think I would The Rock. I think that I would get my money's worth out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, because when you think
answer.
about it, and this is the problem with this Scottie Pippen. Well, there's a lot of problems with the Scottie Pippen thing, but the main problem if we're giving each other fake $333,000, I want to do it with somebody who's going to have fun. And you mentioned LeBron. And if there's one thing that people hate the most about LeBron is LeBron's always having fun. And I really think that's what people hate the most about LeBron. They're like, oh, the Lakers suck and LeBron's on the sidelines with a glass of wine. LeBron is always having fun. And it's so unlike Michael Jordan or Tom Brady or any of the GOATs in any other sport. They all seem miserable. And LeBron is just the opposite of miserable. So I get that. The Rock would be super fun. Like, oh man, it's because you guys know I'm a huge Kanye West fan, but like I could end up at a white supremacist rally for $330,000. I don't want that. So good God. That doesn't sound like a fun day. Oprah. That's it. Oprah.
Ooh, okay. See,
I want to hang out with Oprah. But Oprah goes to brunch, not just on Sundays, but like every day. And it's at her house that looks like probably better than any restaurant I've ever sat in. The chef is probably like world renowned. Like, it's Oprah. I would spend that money on Oprah. And it might not be enough money, honestly, to hang out with Oprah for a day.
Yeah, right. Add a zero.
Jesus. All right. Let's get into another thing, guys. How to fix the Hall of Fame. We got into a little topic about the American Music Awards that Dan was completely wrong about, but Chris steered the conversation in a different direction and said how he would fix Hall of Fames in sports. Chris, fix them. Go.
Yeah. Right. Well, sorry about that, Dan. But typically, this is what happens on our podcast is when you guys start talking about things that I'm not familiar with, I just take it back to sports because that's where I live 24/7. Yeah, I think like the way I want to fix Hall of Fames is just that there's a quota per position. And so we kind of like have some relegation going on. And like, it would be much more interesting if like when Tom Brady goes into the Hall of Fame, we have to decide what quarterback gets removed from the Hall of Fame, right? Because I think we're honoring way too many people. Like I heard somebody talk about the fact that like Matt Stafford could be a Hall of Famer. I'm just like, Matt Stafford? Because he threw for a lot of yards in Detroit and then ended up winning a championship in LA. Like Matt Stafford? He's going to wear a gold jacket? Like, I don't know. Some of these names just like, to me, totally devalue what we're doing with Hall of Fames to the point that it's like the Heisman. I don't care anymore. I don't care. Like Caleb Williams, I'm sorry, bro, but like, I'm not going to remember that one season you played at USC that was great. Like, and all your games happened at 9 and I couldn't watch them anyway. I don't know. I think we're honoring too many people. We're honoring too many people in too many ways. And I think we need to reduce it. And so I think we need to set a quota, like 10 quarterbacks can be in the Hall of Fame. So you really have to think harder about what 10 quarterbacks go in there. Not we're putting 10 people in the Hall of Fame every year. We need to reduce it.
I like that.
I think, and this is an argument I've heard from people before too, specifically with the Pro Football Hall of Fame, I think because of the reason that you mentioned, Chris, because they put so many guys in every year.
5
like a lot,
year.
Right? If we don't go with that, we have to have tiers. Gold jacket, silver jacket, bronze jacket, gold jacket, green jacket. Who gives a shit?
Pink ribbon jacket.
Yeah, like first ballot, definite Hall of Famer, Tom Brady type. Yes, gold jacket, you're in. But like Matt Ryan, Matt Stafford, here's your bronze vest. Like you will go into the other wing that's open only on the weekends. At the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio.
I love this, Dan. I'm visualizing Dan's suggestion because I mean we all know, if you know Dan, he wears his 3-piece suits, right? So like Dan is envisioning the Hall of Fame where like his full suit is the top tier. But like, yeah, if you want to roll with Dan, you got to be top tier, right? If not, like, sorry, bro, you're just wearing a vest. You don't get the jacket.
Right.
Yes.
Some quarterbacks just get suspenders. Like you're just, it's like, all right, Hines Ward, finally, here's some suspenders. You're in.
But Dan, that's a point that's always bothered me too. It's like we have these guys that have waited like 15 years and they get up to the cap where it's like, well, if it like 20 years after you're done playing, if you don't get inducted in, then you can't go in. And then we're like, all right, well, it's year 19 for this guy. Yeah. So we got to put him in. And then I don't know. It's just like, come on.
It's like, does he belong in the level with everybody else? Yeah. No, tier them up. Let's change this thing. We could build a couple levels in Canton. Maybe do it that way. You work your way up to the gold level as you move up.
I like this.
You know, I think that's how we can fix it.
I like this a lot. And sticking with the NFL Hall of Fame, it's for me, there needs to be a rock star wing of the Hall of Fame, a rock star wing of the Hall of Fame. And when I say rock star, I mean people who made the biggest impact on the NFL, probably a bigger impact than some people who are going to be in the Hall of Fame, but they did it in like 4 years. I think Dante Culpepper is my prime example of somebody who should be in the rock star wing of the Hall of Fame. Like maybe you make their busts a little smaller or something like that. I don't know what you do. I just think that there's people who just made a huge impact in the NFL, but like they didn't have a career that went that long. But we all talk about them like, oh my God, you remember Priest Holmes? Or like the people like that who just had insane years in the NFL. Like Ricky Williams is not going to be in the Hall of Fame. Ricky Williams was unreal for a little bit of time and then left. But like, I think those people need to be remembered.
I got Tommy Maddox on the brain now, Didi.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's go.
It's like, come on. Like these people, like Mike Wallace was like the best receiver in the league.
Oh, we just put every Steelers number 1 receiver in that wing. Yeah, it's like 3 years and then they go crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His like 32-week combined NFL career was the best 32-week stretch.
Yeah. Toss Antonio Holmes in there too while you're at it.
Yeah, it's like try talking about because honestly, Antonio Brown's a crazy person now, but like try telling the story of the NFL in the 2010s without mentioning Antonio Brown. You can't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like he's not going to make the Hall of Fame, but you can't talk about, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you're like, all right, this is the story of Antonio Brown. Like he was the best receiver in the league by far. And then he went crazy, but like, he has to be in somewhere. He has to be in there.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, and like Mike Vick comes to mind, even though Mike Vick's never getting in the Hall of Fame because dog stuff, but just saying.
Yeah.
The impact that guy made, like who wasn't, you know? And there's those guys who were just really good on video games that like, you're like.
Cordell Stewart.
Cordell!
Slash, come on, rockstar.
Put freaking 97 Cordell in the NFL now. What? We're not even talking about Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Like, you kidding me? Patrick Mahomes didn't catch passes? Out of here. What? Cordell did everything.
Oh,
Jesus.
Man.
But yeah, a rock star wing in the Hall of Fame. It needs to be there. We just gotta remember these people need to be remembered for generations. Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
I think we just fixed the NFL.
We fixed it. We did it.
I think we fixed it.
You're welcome. 5 minutes. That's all it took.
That's all it took. Because I'm all in on everything. Yeah, I'm all in on like voting to like making the NFL Hall of Fame like Survivor. You're like, all right, do we vote Terry Bradshaw off the island for Matt Stafford? And it's like, no, Terry, your light is Terry, your flame is still on. Matt, put your flame out. Go home.
That's a reality show. We should do that.
Dude, that's it.
Yep.
Like, millions would tune. If millions of people tune in for the draft, like, what? Who's not tuning in to see if freaking Terry Bradshaw has to get kicked out of the Hall of Fame? It's like Joe Namath. Joe Namath, sorry, man. Freaking Matt Ryan's going.
Yeah.
A wrap.
The little interview with Susie Colbert is still a little raw to some people, so.
Oh, God. All right. Okay, let's go to another one that we've had that we've talked about. Actually, let's go to something new. Deion Sanders is now the head coach of Colorado.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even I don't know if this is good or bad or fun or what. All I know is I've seen a lot of transfer portal jokes over the past like couple weeks, and I've really enjoyed those. Deion is now head coach, Power 5 school, Colorado, in the Pac-12. Is that where Colorado is? Yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm fascinated by all this, and I was fascinated by all this, and then all of a sudden I became pissed. I hate Deion because Personally, this is a personal reason. Chris, I think you connect with this a little bit. Our alma mater, Kent State University, not the greatest football powerhouse in the history of college football, but they finally found their head coach that turned the program around, won them a bowl game for the first time since the 1972 Peach Bowl, and Deion plucked his ass to be his offensive coordinator, and I'm furious about it. And so now I'm very anti everything that's going on with Deion because it's going to set that Kent State program back another 3 decades probably, because we've been down this road. So I was fascinated by all of it, by what he did at Jackson State as quickly as he did. I understand he probably had a point where he realized, like, how many more years of just whooping everyone's ass down here is it going to take for me to jump to a Auburn level job, which was another job that people thought he might be up for. Clearly that wasn't happening, wasn't the case. He's going to need one more step before he gets there. If he can do it at Colorado, he could probably do it anywhere. Let's be honest. So fascination around all of that, but now I'm just mad and sad.
Can he coach?
I mean,
he can recruit.
He can recruit.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
I know he can recruit, and I know you can buy players now. I just don't like he was Jackson State, right?
Yeah.
Like he bought players to go to Jackson State. One of his players was got like $1 million NIL deal to play at Jackson State. If you get a kid that talented to play at Jackson, you don't need many players like that at that level of football to dominate. But like, he just went to the Pac-12. He went to a power conference. Normally, you do these steps, right? So I don't know. Like, what's the end goal for Deion? Does he want to be the next Nick Saban? Do you guys really think he's going to be the next?
Dude, I don't know. I'm very interested to see how this, because the first year it's not going to be good.
Yeah, it's going to be bad.
So I'm interested to see how that goes, because if there's one thing that we like, Deion Sanders has been famous for our entire lives. Like, he's been famous for that long. And like, one thing we haven't seen Deion do is like lose.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like Deion's whole brand is kind of like winning. And so you're going to lose in a very public fashion. And I'm interested to see how that goes.
Yeah, it's weird to me that he chose that job. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, normally there's levels to this. Like, I would have seen him going from like Jackson State to like the AAC, right? Like coach like FAU or UCF or a team like that, and then jump to a good program. But like Colorado is like the worst Power 5 program right now. Like, it's not gonna. Yeah. So like, can he coach? Because he's gonna have to know how to coach. I don't know, man. Maybe he's surrounding himself with really good coaches, like Kent State's guy. I don't know.
He is, and that's what he did at Jackson State, right? He had a bunch of NFL players that were coaches, former NFL players.
Yeah, so if he can go out and recruit,
and at that level, you bring in a bunch of NFL players, Hall of Famers, if you will, as your coaches. You bring in the best recruits at that level, and even kids that were top in the country coming there, which is great for that program. And now he's taking him with him, by the way. I don't know if you heard his first speech in the locker room to the team. I'm bringing my luggage with me, and it's Louis, and y'all better jump in the portal so he has some room for them. Like, ooh, okay.
It was the most amazing press conference. Like, it was amazing. The press conference was so Deion. It was amazing. Like, I love Deion. It was the most amazing press conference. I love that he's just like, and I'm bringing my quarterback with me, and it's his son, and his son is like an NFL prospect. His son didn't look happy. He did not look excited to go to Colorado with his dad. So, yeah.
It's going to be, a lot more work to do there than he had to do at Jackson State. It's certainly going to take some time, but kids want to play for him. That's the thing. It's undeniable. And he can, like you said, Didi, he's been famous our whole lives, and, mom and dad.
Oh yeah.
They love themselves some Deion too, right? At that age. So he can talk to any parent, any family in any living room And I think he ultimately wants to be the head coach of Florida State. You're asking like what his end goal is. They didn't want him a couple of years ago, but obviously he didn't really have anything proven at that point. I think that's his end goal, would be the head coaches at his alma mater at Florida State. Wow. And try to get them a championship. But I mean, how many years are we away from that?
Yeah, he picked a circuitous route, man. Like,
yeah,
you want to prove that you can be the coach of Florida State, so you decide to take this job?
Dude, the thing, I don't know. It's interesting. The stuff with the thing that I am like most interested to see how it all works out is just if Colorado has a good year this year. Let's say Colorado goes like 8-4, something like that. Is he gone? Because if he takes the worst team to 8 wins and Florida State has another whatever year, or some other big school has some like whatever year, and like they have the money to buy out contracts and all that, is he just gone? Because that's the thing that is annoying about the Jackson State stuff is like he sold this whole thing like, I'm here, I'm going to be here, whatever. I'm, going to put all the spotlight on HBCUs. God brought me here, blah, blah, blah. And then left as soon as the opportunity happened. So it's like now with seeing that after he sold this dream, Colorado, who cares? So if they win like 8 games and somebody, and like, how college football works. Someone calls, coaches move all the time. It's just like, all right, cool. Like Lincoln Riley, he could go to the NFL next year or something like that. And then USC's open and Deion had a good year. All right, he's gone.
Somebody needs to create a Twitter account for Deion's luggage.
Oh.
Yes.
And I think Colorado, sure. I think the officials at Colorado know that too, because right, they said they don't even know how they're going to pay for him. They don't even know how they're going to afford his contract. I think they willingly gave him that contract knowing they're not going to have to pay him for the entire length of it. So they're like, we'll figure it out. And then someone will have to buy it out and we'll get all that money and we'll be fine.
My God. All right. Last topic here. Antonio Brown was trapped in his house. Police were looking for him. He was trapped in his house. AB, who we just mentioned, rock star Hall of Famer in our NFL Hall of Fame. Yeah. Does any AB story surprise you? Because this one, my dad said it to me because they were here last week. He was like, yeah, Antonio Brown's trapped in his house. You see that? And I was like, no, I didn't see it, but not surprised.
But not surprised.
Not surprised.
No, nothing at this point that he could do, will do, might do, honestly, could surprise me. I mean, what can you say about this guy anymore?
Yeah, it's a shame. Like,
it is.
Yeah, no, the answer is no. It doesn't surprise me. Because like each story just gets more bizarre, right? And every time you think like, oh, well, that's the craziest shit he could do, and then it's just like, well, a month later he does something crazier. Like it's like this. Every time I hear about him, it's this mixture of like cringing and like wanting to laugh, but also like worried about him. Like he's not right.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you're like, there would only be like one story that would surprise me about Antonio Brown at this point, and I feel the same way about like Kanye. It's like if I woke up and they were like, Kanye West is dead, I'd be like, oh shit, that's crazy. And I feel the same way about Antonio Brown. It's sad. It's just like there's no story, and it seems like every time it's like he's trying to one up the next thing or something, and it's like no one's caring, and you're still seeking attention, and it's like, I don't know what the thing is that I would be surprised by with Antonio Brown. Because it's like this.
Honestly, I don't even.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I don't even know if like Antonio Brown's dead would surprise me. I think what would surprise me if it was like Antonio Brown saves child in the middle of intersection, save child life, or like turns himself into rehab and guarantees he's there and he actually stays there. Like that would surprise me. Like good Antonio Brown news, I think would surprise me because we haven't had that at all.
I don't know. I don't even think I could be surprised by that because like Antonio Brown is a spectacular athlete. So if he saw a kid
Yeah.
if he saw some kid and like, who fell into the subway in New York City, he could jump down, get him, and get him like it was nothing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'd just be like, yeah, like Antonio Brown did some amazing thing. Yeah, I believe it. I don't know. It's crazy. Well, boys, we tried to get as many topics as possible, and I think we did a really good job. Let's get to music. What we're listening to. Dan, what you got?
How can we not to start the week off with SZA? I mean, I think we should literally just fill the playlist with the entire album. But I'll pick one. The song with Phoebe Bridgers that a lot of people were excited for, "Ghost in the Machine." When the track list came out, everyone freaked out for a lot of these collaborations. This one in particular, the album is incredible. It's red hot. It's being talked about as it should be. It's fantastic. It really is. But at least one song on the playlist from SOS, and I'll put on "Ghost in the Machine," Phoebe Bridgers and SZA.
Nice. Chris, what you got?
This is super random. But like somewhere along the line, we heard that you remember that Taylor Swift album that nobody liked?
Oh, the ones
the like super
Evermore,
hipster,
Folklore,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then the
yeah.
one after that.
the
Yep,
super hipster
yep.
one. Somewhere along the line, we heard that was like the best music to play for a crying baby to calm them down. And I've been meaning to mention this for months now, but it's true. It is 100% true. We had to pull it out again a couple weeks ago. We were driving home from a Christmas festival thing, and Charlotte was not happy. So I'm just going to toss something from that album onto the playlist because I hated that album back when it came out. And now, to be honest with you guys, I kind of like it. So I'm going to show a little bit of respect this week. Okay.
Wow.
Christopher Gates,
There's a story
aka
that'll surprise me.
Swifty. All right. Let's go. Paramore put out the second single from their album that's coming out, I believe, in February. The News, and I really like it.
Do you?
I like it a lot, and it's interesting because I see what they're trying to do. I don't know how fun of a concert this is gonna be. So mixing old stuff with the new stuff, I feel like there's gonna be a lot of people who aren't gonna be feeling this because this is very political. This is why it's kind of a political record, but the News is very political. So I'm like, are they trying to be 2023 Green Day or something with this album? I'm not sure, but I like the News. I think it's cool. I like the lyrics. I don't know. I'm excited to see what the rest of this album sounds like, but I didn't expect political turn from Paramore, but here we are.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it yet. I got to give it some more listens because it took me for a little while to warm up to This Is Why, and then I heard This Is Why performed live, and I liked it better, so maybe that'll be the case there. But yeah, interesting sound with what they're doing so far. Next one up for me, Upsall. She put out her brand new EP, Sagittarius. The entire thing is great. The song I'll put on is called Kickflip. It's kind of funky and hip and poppy. It just seems like anytime Upsall puts out any music, she has a place on our playlist, deservedly so. She has for quite some time. So we can put the whole EP on there, but Kickflip from Upsall, you're going to like it.
We need to do a playlist of like our brunch favorites. Like,
ooh,
you know what I mean? Like the Olivia O'Briens, the Upsalls. Like there are certain people
right.
You just need to make a playlist of just like one song of we're all like drafting songs from our brunch staples. But
yes, the regulars. I like it.
Toss Jordan Sparks in there while you're at it. Yeah. I
like
that.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Next up for me. So like the Spotify rap thing came out for everybody, right? So I've been reliving my 2022 a little bit, and I wanted to put a couple songs back on the playlist this week that probably aren't going to be in the brunchies next week when we talk about music, but I still really, really love these songs. So the first one, band called Cliff Diver. I put them on the podcast months ago, a new ska band that kind of burst onto the scene this year. Their song New Vegas Bomb. I love Vegas Bombs have played a role in all of our lives, and we can enjoy that song this week, for better or for worse.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. My next one is from They, period. Set Me Free, new single. I'm not the biggest fan of They. A lot of people do like them, but guess what? This song I really like. Set Me Free, check it out. It's very heartfelt. And yeah, I like the song. So check it out.
Last one for me, Peach Tree Rascals. I Need That. It's off their End of Time EP, and they've been on the playlist a few times in the past few years because they're one of the most like genre bending groups there is. I just love the uniqueness and blend of their sound and what they do. It really, from song to song, it changes. So I Need That from Peach Tree Rascals.
Nice. My last one. So Mom Jeans put out a new album this year. The album's called Sweet Tooth. The song What's Up on that album is one that I've just continued to play all year. And yeah, I don't know that it's going to be a song of the year, but man, it's like, if you like put your top 3 that you're debating for song of the year, this is like probably 4 or 5. Like, it's up. It's really, really good. So just want to throw that back on there this week.
I can't wait for the brunchies. I'm ready.
Let's go.
I'm ready. All right. My last one that I have is, you know how songs just show up on playlists? It's just like you're listening to music, then it just like rolls into something you've never heard of. Well, there's nothing I love more in my late 30s than ignorant rap music by younger people. Takes me back to a time. This song is by somebody named Ogeesy, and the song is called Gallery, and god damn it, is this song good. This is not a song you want to play with the children, just letting you know right now. This is a song you want to play when you're working out, when you're running, when you're isolated, you know, to yourself, or you're in the car by yourself. Play this and you will play it 10 times in a row. It's just good. Just feels right. Just feels right. Takes me back to a time. So check it out. Ogeesy, whoever you are, Gallery. And shouts to Apple Music for knowing that I needed to hear this song, because I did not look for this. So there you go. Well, that's what we're listening to. And boys, any final thoughts on the old brunch breakdown?
No, I'm just going to spend a lot of time this week thinking about what NFL players actually deserve a 3-piece suit.
Dude, same. Like, I feel like I'm going to be sending you guys text messages all week. Just like, yeah, give them the bronze jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bronze vest going to you. Yeah.
It's like,
act like you're working at a cheesecake factory, you know. We fixed it though. We fixed it, everybody.
God, what jacket does Kirk Cousins get?
Dude, I just saw, and like I was watching a game, I think last week, and they said he passed Dante Culpepper for like touchdown passes or something like that. And I was like, how is that possible? But then, like you said, they showed Dante Culpepper and he played there for like 2.5 years.
Yeah. That's Rockstar Hall of Fame, bronze jacket. I'm telling you, these are conversations that need to be had.
Kirk Cousins, suspenders, bow tie. There you go.
It's the brunch breakdown. We're out.